Hello and welcome to Pots and Trowels, and thank you to our sponsors Mr Fothergill Seeds and Cobra Garden. Today I'm going to be sowing some vegetables that will crop later in the season, and I'm going to be dealing with the dahlias. Hello, we're in the veg plot this week, and for me, growing fresh fruit and veg is really good. I love doing it, and it's all about getting as much as you can and spreading it out through the season. And at the moment, just looking around, we're getting runner beans and dwarf French beans, beetroot, carrots, new potatoes. We're lifting onions, a few early onions as well, and also cabbages from the plot. So there's a good supply of veg at the moment coming in, but I want to make sure that we've got some things that will fill that gap sort of late summer and early autumn, and we can still sow. We might think it's a bit late now, we're early August, but there's still quite a bit we can put in the ground. So where I'm standing here, this is where the mange 2 were and the broad beans. Both of them have provided with us a good crop over the season, but they've finished now, so I've taken them out. What I tend to do with all the peas and beans is don't dig them out. I cut them off at ground level and leave the roots in, because all the legume family have nitrogen nodules on which help to feed the next crop. So I've just cut them off at ground level where they're out the way, and all I'm doing with the plot is very quickly I'm just turning it over. I'm not digging it, I'm just loosening the top couple of inches just to get rid of any weeds I did do out there, and then it's just a case of knock it about with the fork so that we get a nice crumbly surface ready for sowing on. So ground preparation is minimal, and I'm not putting any fertilizer down. We've got those nitrogen nodules, and there's enough feed in the soil from the compost we put on earlier in the season, and these are fast growing vegetables that we're sowing at this time of the year. So if I just come down here, we can see what we've done. I've raked it, I've used my little board here, a couple of canes in, and I've just taken out a shallow drill there, just about ½ an inch deep along there. And then here I've got a range of vegetables that we can sow. Now there's quite a few different things we can sow at this time of the year, and as I said, these are all fast growing veg. So spinach here, and radishes, and lovely turnips, and all the salad crops, lamb's lettuce, mixed lettuce, beetroot. We've got a whole range of things there, spring onions. So now they're going to be up in a matter of just a week or 2 weeks time, and we can start to pull them and harvest them from September through to October time. So lovely fresh leafy veg we can get there. So what I'm going to put in today are the spinach here, and this is one of the fast growing ones. This is Missouri. It's really easy to grow, it doesn't suffer with mildew, and this is a perfect time to sow it. In fact, you can sow it right the way through August into early September, and it's quite a nice big seed, so nice and easy to sow there. So it's one that you can space out evenly, and I'm just going to sprinkle them nice and thinly along the row. I don't want to be doing too much thinning with them. These will all come up, and we can pick them as little baby leaves, or we can let them mature a bit. And the secret, of course, with spinach is you've got to get it when it's tender anyway, nice and small. So we'll tinkle those along there like that, and then the rest can go back into the bag. And I might even sow another row in a couple of weeks time just to stagger it. We can get rid of that piece of wood and then just lightly cover them over like that, just a little tamp down. If the ground is dry, and this isn't, we've had some rain so it's nice and moist, that'll be fine. But if the ground is dry, then you might just want to put a little bit of water on there with a watering can. So I'm going to carry on here putting radishes in and spring onions and all of the things I've talked about in these short rows, and we can then look forward to those in about 6 weeks time. I always like to grow a few dahlias in the garden, and it is just worth checking them to make sure that they're doing okay. They're flowering now, and flowers are produced right the way from July through till October when we get the first frost. So these have still got the bulk of their flowering to do really, and I just grow them partly because I like the look of them in the veg garden, partly because when I was an apprentice we used to grow them on the parks department, but also they make really good cut flowers mixed in with other foliage from the garden. So first thing is, these will grow a bit taller yet. These are probably going to get another foot high, and they are prone to sort of falling over if we get windy, stormy weather. Already in here I've got strings and canes in a framework which I put in when the plants were put in the garden, but then I also use these are really good. These sort of steel hoops that are bent there in a semicircular shape, and I just push them in close to it, and that just means that if my strings break and it flops forward, they've got something to take the weight on there. The other thing that I need to do is to deadhead on a regular basis, and as we can see, this one has gone all horrible because of the wet weather, so that one is destined for the compost heap. And then this one has blown, the flowers opened up on it. So again, anything like that I'm going to take off, because what I want to do is to encourage lots and lots of new flowers to keep developing. And I want long stems, and this one here, this lovely sort of orange one, this is a cacti type. We can see here that that flower there has also gone underneath. So you think, well, it looks nice still, but if we keep taking them off, it will encourage all these others to grow, and we want nice long stems like that, which is perfect for putting in a vase. So again, with this one, it's quite a short flower. The first flowers often are, so I'm going to take that one off. Now that one is still okay, so I shall just put that in a single vase in the house and we'll enjoy it for another week or so. But what it means is now the energy that was going into this dahlia will now go into these shoots here, and I'll get even longer flower stems. So it is a case of the more you pick, the more flowers you get. They are quite greedy. I've thrown that down, but I'm going to pick it up and put it in a vase, I promise. They are quite greedy. And because of the way they grow, it can get quite dry underneath. It almost acts like an umbrella. So despite the fact that we've had rain, it is quite dry underneath. So what I do is just once a week mix up a couple of watering cans of liquid feed. It's a high potash liquid feed, and I'm just going to give them a good soak all around the base. Soak it in. They do like that moisture, and the feed will really keep them healthy and growing, and we'll get flowers right the way through till autumn, and we can really enjoy them. Thank you for watching Pots and Trowels, and thank you for all your likes and for following the pages. We really do appreciate it. We'll be back soon with more hints and tips from the garden. So until then, goodbye.